You're 6 years old when your feet start to ache. Not the kind of ache that comes from running too fast or tripping on the playground. Like your bones are learning something your mind doesn't understand yet. The pain is sharp, focused, and for some reason, it excites you. It feels important, like a secret signal only you can hear. You were made for this. Other kids twirl for fun. You twirl because you have to. It's not just movement. It's a language you're starting to speak fluently without even realizing it. You feel it in your fingers and the way your spine stretches when you stand. Something clicks into place when your heels kiss in first position. When the music starts and your body responds without needing to think. You're already different. Your teacher sees it first. She says you have natural turnout. You don't know what that means yet, but it sounds like the beginning of something big. Your mom watches you like she's seeing a future take shape. Your friends don't get it. They're busy chasing soccer balls or coloring outside the lines. But you're busy practicing tendus in the hallway, pretending the tiles are stage lights. The studio becomes your second home. The mirror, your fiercest teacher. The barre, your anchor. You don't know what a tendon is, but you're already testing the limits of yours. You come home with bruised knees and blistered toes, and the next day you go back for more. Not because anyone told you to, because you want to, because something inside you is beginning to bloom, and you're starting to suspect it might be the start of everything. You're still just a kid, but you already understand what sacrifice feels like. The other girls at school talk about birthday parties, sleepovers, their new favorite shows. You nod along, pretending to know, pretending to care, but you've already chosen something else. Your weekends are booked with rehearsals. Your holidays revolve around intensives. You're learning to measure your year not in seasons, but in performances. Your leotards outnumber your regular clothes. Your hair knows only one shape. You start to notice the details that other people don't. The way someone points their toes mid-jump, the angle of a lifted arm, the hesitation in a transition. You feel every flaw, even the ones no one else can see. By the time you're 10, you've stopped dancing for fun. Not because you don't love it, but because fun isn't the goal anymore. You take class with dancers twice your age. You learn the difference between effort and execution. You hear the corrections before your teacher gives them. Your instincts sharpen. Your ambition hardens. People call you gifted, and maybe you are, but you know that's only part of it. The truth is, you work for this. You live for this. Your calendar is filled with private lessons, rehearsals, and auditions. Your muscles stay in a constant state of soreness. Your feet are never without tape. You learn to dance through the pain, through the fatigue, through the doubt. You start to crave the mirror's judgment. You chase that one perfect line, that one perfect moment. And when it doesn't come, you stay late. You go again. You don't realize it yet, but something else is happening too. You're learning to tie your self-worth to how well you perform. Every compliment feels like love. Every critique, a wound. You don't talk about it. No one does. You just keep going. Because now this isn't just what you do, it's who you are becoming. By the time you're in high school, ballet isn't something you do, it's who you are. There's no longer a boundary between the girl and the dancer. You're not wearing the role, you've become it. Your life is a blur of early mornings and late night stretching, of bruised toenails and protein bars eaten between rehearsals. Your friends are fellow dancers, your schoolwork gets done backstage. While other kids think about prom, you think about pre-professional programs, company auditions, scholarships. Your locker is lined with inspirational quotes and rejection letters. You've stopped fearing the no. You only need one yes. And then it comes. An acceptance letter, the one, the prestigious academy that launches careers. You hold the envelope like it's sacred. You think, this is it, the start of everything I've worked for. You don't realize it's also the beginning of what it will cost. And you're no longer the standout. Every dancer here has your flexibility, your strength, your hunger. Suddenly, you're one of many. You're competing for space in the back row, just trying to be seen. You stop being the best. You start being good enough, and even that feels temporary. You hear things you were shielded from before. Whispers about bodies, weight. You start comparing your thighs, your waist, your silhouette under stage lights. You skip lunch, then dinner. You call it discipline. Everyone does. You train harder, push further, punish your body for not fitting into the mold. You feel the applause only when it's earned. But the silence when you're passed over, that stays with you longer. It starts to eat at you. Still, you smile in class. You say thank you when you're corrected. You nod when they ask if you're okay. You keep dancing because the dream hasn't changed. It just got sharper, heavier, more real. It happens in an instant. The thing you've secretly feared but never spoken aloud, you're mid-pirouette in Swan Lake rehearsal, pushing for one more rotation, one more inch of perfection, and your knee gives out. A sharp, unnatural pop. The world tilts. You collapse. The music keeps playing. The room doesn't stop. You lie there for a beat too long trying to convince yourself it was nothing. Just a tweak, a misstep. The MRI confirms it. Torn meniscus, months of physical therapy, no dancing, no roles, no stage. You cry in the car on the way home, not from pain, but from fear. Fear that the one thing you've built your identity around might no longer be yours. You've never considered a version of your life without ballet. Now you're being forced to. The world doesn't pause for your recovery. Rehearsals continue, cast lists go up, new names replace yours. People stop asking how you're doing. In ballet, absence is normal. Injuries are expected. Dancers vanish and reappear all the time. The machine never stops. You spend your days doing exercises most toddlers could manage. Learning to bend your leg again, learning to trust it again. You watch performances from the wings, clapping politely while someone else dances your part. The envy is quiet but sharp. You're happy for them, but not as happy as you should be. And then, slowly you come back. Not the same, but different in a way that might be stronger. You've seen what it means to fall. You've learned what it takes to get up. You dance with more purpose now. Less show, more truth. You understand your body better, its limits, its warnings, its resilience. A small company takes a chance on you. Corps de ballet, the bottom rung. But it's a rung. You're on the ladder again. You're grateful just to be in the room. You step on stage for the first time in months, heart pounding, knees taped, and when the spotlight hits, you remember, this is what you fought for. You're back, but it's not the kind of comeback they make movies about. There's no standing ovation, no miracle role, no dramatic solo. You're in the corps de ballet, blending in, moving in unison, living in the background. You're dancer number 5 in a row of identical swans, perfectly synchronized and completely replaceable. But you're back. And in this world, that's everything. You relearn how to disappear gracefully, how to be sharp but invisible, present but not distracting. You smile on stage, even when your bun is too tight, even when your feet are burning inside dead point shoes. You bow every night, soaked in sweat, then limp to the dressing room and peel off your costume in silence. You share a one-bedroom apartment with 2 other dancers. You sleep on a mattress on the floor next to a heating pad and a jar of Tiger Balm. You earn barely enough to cover groceries and train fare. You eat eggs and rice. You wash your tights in the sink. Still, you dance. You get a solo, then another. A moment to prove that you're not just functional, you're valuable. One night, the principal sprains her ankle just before curtain. They call your name. You barely have time to warm up. You go on stage trembling, adrenaline flooding your limbs. You shine. You soar. The audience claps like they mean it. The next night, she's back, and you're back to the core. Years pass. You become reliable, consistent. You learn how to stay ready without being asked. You help the younger dancers with quick changes and backstage nerves. They call you steady. They call you strong. They don't call you star. You start to see the clock ticking, not just on your career, but on your body. Your joints ache longer now. Recovery takes more than a night's sleep. You stretch every morning like your future depends on it. You perform. You endure. Because you know something they don't yet. Sometimes the hardest part isn't getting there, it's staying. One day your name just stops appearing on casting sheets. No announcement, no injury, no final bow. You're simply not chosen. Someone younger steps into your place, into your costume. The stage moves on without you. You linger for a while, teaching class warm-ups, helping with quick changes backstage, offering notes after rehearsal. You tell yourself you're still part of it. But inside, something is unraveling. The barre no longer feels like home. The mirror no longer shows who you were. You become a teacher. You demonstrate tendus and port de bras with quiet precision. You correct posture. Remind them to breathe, to feel the music. You say beautiful when they find that perfect line. You don't tell them about the loneliness, the injuries, the missed birthdays, the nights you cried in the dressing room. You don't tell them how ballet gave you everything and quietly took it back. You just say, keep going. Because sometimes the real performance isn't on stage. It's learning to let go with grace.